Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining for the webinar, Customer Engagement Strategies for the Rest of 2020. We will begin the webinar in a couple of minutes. The estimated time would be 11:01. We will wait for a couple of more attendees to join, and then we'll start the webinar. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, this is Min. I'm from AK Digital. Hopefully we will have the good webinar today. Later we will catch up more on the question and answer.
Hello everyone, again, thank you so much for the patience. It's time that we start the webinar on customer engagement strategies for the rest of 2020. Introducing myself, I'm Srijit. I'm the country manager of Netcore Vietnam. Quick background check. I've spent almost a decade in digital marketing consultancy and increasing the adoption of SaaS products among marketeers. I've been specialized in customer retention and life cycle management. Along with me, Mr. Min, who has already given a quick introduction about himself, but I will also give a background of Min. He has been there in the last 25 years in the professional field, in finance, sales, marketing, across various top brands like P&G, Nokia, AkzoNobel, and now he has, in the last 3 years, he's celebrating his third year in Lava Digital as a CEO. Welcome, Min. Thank you so much again for joining the webinar, and we look forward to have better conversations and addressing a lot of questions from our audience.
Hi, TJ. Thank you. Just do a quick intro before you start. So my name is Minh Nguyen. Again, this was established 10 years ago, but majority of that will be in the edtech area. In the last 3 years, we have a new business called AKA Martech, where we are the partner of a few Martech vendor, and Netcore is one of our strategic partner here in Vietnam. And I think in the last 3 years, we have worked with a few top clients in the area. So hopefully we can share more during the presentation. But my background is quite diverse into different areas. I start from finance, moved to sales, and finally marketing. And now, 10 years ago, I decided to start my own business and media, and now become the Martech consulting. Yeah. Over back to you.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Min. So let's quickly start off the presentation. In the next 50 minutes, you can expect a few of the important statistics on customer engagement. We will be introducing 5 customer engagement strategies along with its examples. It is also important to hear your thoughts, also address your queries or questions in case if you have any. Please feel free to share across as we progress the webinar. In the comment box, there is a chat box available. Please feel free to shoot out your thoughts, questions there. And we will be allotting 5 to 10 minutes to address those questions. So let's begin. 61%, as per the statistics given by Think with Google, 61% of the people expect brands to tailor experiences based on their preferences. That means the more the one-to-one content or communication, the better the experience that the customer may have. And I'm pretty much sure most of us who are part of this webinar would have got a random credit card calls or even emails telling that, hey, would you like to avail this credit card or an insurance? It's nothing but shooting in the dark method. And you may be, out of calling 1,000 people, you may be lucky in one. But that's not what a customer experience. The customer desires it to be more one-to-one, personalized, and also understanding how is that a brand understands me better and communicate me in a strategic way. And that is where, based on the research of Think with Google, it says that 61% of the people expects that level of personalized experiences. 56% of the customers expects to find whatever they need in 3 clicks or less. I'm just giving another example. I'm sure most of us wouldn't end up walking 2 kilometers to buy a phone when we can get it near our home and with a better or a similar experience and cost. It's the same way that a customer does not prefer to discover or experience a particular product in 3 clicks or more. As a result, it is important that we help the customer to discover the product the fastest possible time, specifically in the digital front. And this has been given by Salesforce research. And if engaged well, the existing customers are your best customers for continued purchases. Because as per the stats given by Invest, existing customers are 50% more likely to try new products and spend 31% more than new customers. So this clearly shows how important are your existing customer base. And I'm sure almost everybody would have heard of a very globally famous statistics on increasing the retention rates by 5% increases the profits by 25 to 95%. And this correlates to whatever we are showcasing here. That is, how can we engage with our existing customers that can help us improve the overall profitability of the organization. Another statistics, which is very interesting statistics released by IDC, is a third, that is 1/3 of the customers will desert the suppliers after just one substandard digital customer experience. And COVID-19 will accelerate the shift from a face-to-face interaction towards an omni-channel digital communications. So we have to be prepared, and we have to be very strategic in terms of unifying the entire customer data, and then understand where exactly is customer spending time. Is it online? Is it retail? If online, is it web? Is it app? What is the interaction of the customers over channels? All kind of insights is something that we'll have to bring in, and then we create a very good digital customer experience. And thereby, we can avoid the churn of that 1/3 of the customers. So the most important question comes in, are we ready with the refreshed customer engagement strategies? Considering the fact that the first 6 months has been spent on addressing the COVID kind of a challenge, now with things looking positive for the next 6 months to 9 months, the first question comes in, are we ready with that refreshed customer engagement strategies? Let me take a pause here and ask Min. Min, I've seen Vietnam having a very fast recovery in COVID, barring maybe few daily cases, a very little number of cases. At the same time, this also resulted to a very high increase in online adoption. So my question is, do you think this omni-channel customer interaction and experience is now unavoidable in Vietnam?
Thanks, Jake. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, I think for Vietnam market, even before the COVID, right, the omni-channel is there, but the COVID happened. It made the process or the adoption of the omni-channel even more. Yeah, because the need will become, more at the moment, right? Not just like in the past, I plan to buy something online and then I wait until when I back or when I in front of the PC. No, with the COVID, it become more on the regular activity of the day. So the omni-channel become even more critical. They can adopt it on, they can make it on PC, they can make it on mobile, right? They can make it on people, yeah, in the app, right? So the point is, the COVID happened, make the omni-channel adoption even faster. And then, if any enterprise, any business would like to win the customer heart, right? They need to adopt the omni-channel even faster. That's it from my side.
Super. I think, I mean, I can remember one of the meeting that we had with one of the famous or one of the largest retailer in Vietnam. In fact, I totally correlate with your statement here. In the meeting, the digital marketing head did highlight that how important it was it to just shift the focus online and scale up the online business. And though the retail was already there online, but the COVID made them to go even more aggressive online. Thereby, they saw somewhere around 20-23%. I don't recollect the exact number, but it was somewhere around 20-23% increase in online conversions because of that. So, I totally, correlate with your point with the meeting that we had very, couple of months back.
Yeah, I just want to emphasize on that is that even the omni-channel, the concept is quite broad, right? I would like to highlight here that during COVID, the nature of the omni-channel also changed. So that means what? Is they change the channel they use more often during the COVID, right? So in the past, right, on the e-commerce, you email at the strategic communication because of the reach, because of the cost effectiveness, because of the platform, right? But during the COVID, right, the push has become more relevant and more instant, right? But when a business without proper preparation, when you switch to the push at the high volume and the speed of deliver, that's push become a bottleneck, right? Become the barrier. So the nature of that, the concept is there, is present there, but the nature of that have changed during the COVID.
Very interesting thought. Perfect. So taking ahead our conversation, Min, let's present the 5 customer engagement strategies for the rest of 2020. Strategy number 1, personalized user experience. No, I'm not talking about name personalization. In case if someone would have smiled, I think the joke went good. You can share it across in the chat. Otherwise, I'll improve it later. Great. So personalized user experience is one among the most important and critical strategy when it comes to the rest of 2020. And focusing on a one-to-one personalized shopping experience across the purchase process is very important today. Be it a homepage personalization, or if the customer is in product display page, or even the customer is looking at an app push or an email content, how can we create a one-to-one personalized content so that they take an action and they love the kind of communication that we are making? That is something that we'll have to focus at. A good conversation leads to a better conversation, conversion. And that is where we have to look into a few of the examples. Personalization on the homepage. Like, for example, if a customer is coming to the home page, how can we personalize the entire content and display the product that the customer is most likely to buy? So such personalization is achievable, and by doing this, we can attain a 90 to 110% higher CTR. And not only in homepage, as I mentioned, it can be also expanded across a search, product listing page, product display page in the website or app. At the same time, you go ahead and make it in the channels. a channel like an email, a channel like a web push, app push, SMS. How can we personalize the content, thereby customer looking into the products that they are most likely to buy or click or view. This is an example over here. Like, gone are those days that we talk about abandoned cart, right? So everybody does abandoned cart. So abandoned cart can have a one standard content, a product or maybe 5 products based on the items that the customer has added to the cart. But imagine a scenario where we can display the products that the customer is most likely to buy along with add to cart items. That will increase the relevance of the product and their relevance of our communication. That will also directly increase the number of clicks. And that is where such personalized content can add 18 to 20% upliftment in click rates compared to a normal campaigns. Another example can be something recommending a movie or a TV series based on the preference of the respective customer. Now, not only in channels like push channels like email or app push or web push, we can also start personalizing a one-to-one content in Facebook also. Understanding who the customer is, pushing that data in the Facebook and engaging the relevant content with the customers in the Facebook is also achievable today. It is not showing the product that the customer has seen or added to cart, but the product that the customer is most likely to buy. That is something that we can achieve over here. Another example can be a personalized boutique page. Like, who doesn't love a dedicated page in a website or in an app, or dedicated screen in an app, and that screen or page is only showcases the products that I am highly interested on. So those kind of technologies also available where we can start personalizing the content and also they create a personal page for all the customers. And we have observed 8% higher conversions than any other sections or any other pages or screens in the respective web and app. The advantage in personalizing or dedicating a particular page is the customer gets a chance to like or dislike a particular product, thereby improving the algorithm and recommendation given to the customer in the respective personal boutique page, and at the same time at the respective home page, product display page, or any other pages present in the website or app. Another example can be a rule-based one-to-one personalization based on the behavior of the customers. Let's take an example of this particular 2 screenshots. For a new web visitor, the call to action is how it works, and you can show a learn, apply, and procedures. It is more of an acquisition-based content. But when it comes to an existing customer, the call to action changes to manage my account, use the card resources, pay my provider. So based on the behavior, based on the customer type, we can personalize the entire banners, elements of the website, thereby creating a one-to-one level personalization at the pages that the customer generally lands at, and that can be in the website or in the respective app screen. By doing this, we have also observed 35% higher click compared to a non-personalized banner or a web element. Like, generally, when we come to the website, there are standard banners, there are standard widgets and standard content. We can personalize that and bring relevancy to the customer who is there in the website or app. Now, the personalization can be done based on various elements, like be it a location. Like, for example, if I'm coming from Singapore, I have a different content than a customer who's coming from Vietnam. a day and time. You can personalize based on the day and time of the customer, based on the historical data. That is where you are able to look over here, historical data, that is new customer and existing customer, new web visitor and existing customer, or a real-time data. So these kind of personalization using multiple elements can be, or rules can be also implied, and thereby creating a one-to-one level conversation with your customer. Min, let me ask you a question here. What are your thoughts on achieving a one-to-one personalization as per your experience?
Okay. The concept one-to-one personalization, I think, is quite new in this market. Yeah.
Okay.
The concept, in order to implement the concept, right?
Right.
We need a proper platform to deliver that, right? And I think that is one of the barrier for the local business to implement this. It's no doubt that one-to-one personalization will help to improve the customer experience and hence deliver better customer conversion. But how to do it, I think this is the topic will continue to be a hot topic in the coming months or even the following years. How to make it become reality for the local business.
Great. That's a valid thought. I believe once the increase in adoption, I believe once the adoption increases, once the early adopters sees the result, that would definitely lead the rest of the audience on marketeers to follow the trend. And do you think a similar approach will happen in the in this particular financial year, or do you think that marketeers would be placing their budgets in on such scale of one-to-one personalization in the coming financial year 2021?
I think that's the trend, but importantly, where it's not, and I think the local business should find the proper use case that can help them to deliver the stuff. Okay,
Interesting.
so it can start from a very simple in terms of the email sending out, right? So when
Right.
you send it doesn't mean what you send a blast and it will come into the inbox or at the same time. No, right? I
Right.
think just simple, not a simple, with a tool in the email send, we call that is send time optimization. You can
Right.
really, personalize the email deliver to the inbox of the user so that we can help improve the open rate, right? So I think the technology is there. The benefit is there. The important is that for the local business to find the proper use case that need to balance between short term and long term, between benefit and cost, so that they can deliver the result.
Super. Great. Moving ahead, Min, thank you so much for sharing that thought. And we'll just move ahead to the next strategy, focusing on the best customers. This is a very unique strategy. In fact, as per my experience over the years, I've not come across many adopting a best engagement with the best customers. And I see that the next 6 to 12 months, this can be one of the, and this should be one of the important strategy to generate profits, at the same time to generate better conversation with the customers. I'm referring to a book called Driving Digital Strategy by Sunil Gupta. It categorizes the best, rest, and other customers. And the book states that the best and the rest customers are the ones that drive profitability. Let's take an example of this particular chart. The first 20% of the customers ends up becoming the best customers. 50% of the customer are the rest customers, that is 20 to 50%, and the rest are your other customers. Now, as the 20% of the customers are engaged, and these are the 20% of the customer that drives the profitability of the organization, followed to the rest, while others are the one, the profit, while engagement and the overall customer acquisition cost, everything may not be justified enough. Lifetime value may not be justified enough. Thereby, these are the other customers that may end up bringing losses for us and organizations. The book focuses on how can we engage with these best and the rest customers so that the profitability is doubled. And it's a very good book to refer. And at the same time, if you look into the profit percentage, and that is where the best 20% profitability comes to almost 200%, the rest next, and the moment you touch the bottom other customers, it starts to fall down. So it is important to understand that a fit for all customer engagement strategy is not fit anymore. Let me ask another question here. Um, how many brands in percentage, or maybe based on your experience, have you seen they implementing a special engagement strategy for their best customers?
I think this is a very difficult question for Vietnam market. Yeah, but let me share with you a few key clients how they adopt this kind of strategy for in terms of how to select the right target audience for
Sure.
for setting up the engagement strategy, right? So we all know about the Pareto law, right? The talk about the 80-20 rule. But in reality, how the local business have adopted this. So in what my observation during the last 3 years with Martex, where we help the client to collect the customer data and provide them with the consulting and implementation of the Martech platform so that they can implement the engagement strategy. So I found that, I mean, the customer normally they do this by segmentation, right? So they segment the customer into different area, depend on the volume, depend on the profit, and then they will develop or set up the engagement strategy depend on the behavior, the potential and the profit of that segment, right? But you know what? When you try to do everything on the same platform, on the same way, the customer experience cannot be really distinguished between the group, right? So I see the successful brand is that they very focused. They pick one or two segments and they just focus into that. And that's why, I mean, the focus strategy can deliver the result, okay? But another thing I see that now, especially with the online business, right, with the proper customer data in hand through a platform, so they can do two different segments. One is the best customer who deliver the best profit for them. They treat them as the VIP group, right? And the rest they consider at the long term. But then because they have the data and the platform in hand, so the offer, the customer experience for that two group, they can set up in really different way, and they can help create a really different customer experience, so that you will see that they can cover both. They don't have to drop one segment or the other, but they can target both. But the way they set up the engagement strategy on the platform, because the data, now they can really deliver that seamlessly, right? That's what I see, and that's the trend. The number is very difficult to say at the moment, but we see the people start in doing that.
Understood. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that that synergizes with the thoughts. That is, you cannot treat the best customer of yours like with the customer that is that may not be the best. And I believe that a customer with a lifetime value of $1,000 compared to a customer with a lifetime value of maybe a $10 are totally two different audience altogether. And these $1,000 customer is something that we have to protect and also give an exclusivity for those to those set of customers, so that they are always with us, and at the same time they are also driving more profitability to the organization.
Yep, agreed. Yep.
Thanks, Min. Let's take a few scenarios here. I mean, how do we engage with the best customers and the rest customers? So we will take a few examples and scenarios here. First is giving an exclusivity for the customer. Give them an exclusive experience to the compared to the rest of the customers. The more the exclusive, the more the profitability and the lifetime value of the customer. I'm just giving an example over here. If there is any product launch, or if there is any particular product that a brand knows that they are most likely to try out or buy, then how can we ensure that the customer is getting the sample? That's where this use case is coming into relevance. By doing this, you are not only giving a superior experience compared to other customers, but also these are the customers who will end up reviewing or end up referring the products to their peers, I mean to their friends or family. So that is where giving an exclusivity compared to all other customers comes into place. Other examples can be preference-based dedicated page, like the one that we did discuss was a boutique page, which is completely personalized for each and every customer in the earlier slide. The current one we are talking is maybe based on the preference, like customer prefers to, is looking into an Apple devices, and the customer says that I'm looking out for accessories in the next 5-6 months, or maybe I'm looking for home electronics in the next 3-4 months. How can we personalize the pages based on the preference of the customer? Or giving them the rescheduling option, like a customer who is a loyal customer with a very high lifetime value, how can we give them the option to reschedule the tickets at their choice, while the normal customers does not get that? So those kind of exclusivity is something that we can give to the customers. The second example can be how can we ease in the process of the customer? Any process in that manner, whether it being a buying process or post-purchase process or even support, any stages of the customer, how can we give a ease of process for those set of premium customer? And to achieve that, it definitely requires seamless data transmission and transparency, to tag these are my best customers, and we need to engage with them in a much more strategic way. Like for example, if I'm calling to a call center and my lifetime value is 1,000, and parallelly there is another customer whose lifetime value is $10,000, how can the call center prefer those set of customers and then give priority rather than just putting it in a queuing system? Like, okay, for 1,000 first, then comes 10,000. So those kind of queuing systems can be also a few of the examples. One of the examples shown over here is simple, like we know this customer is a priority customer or a premium customer. How can we deliver the products much ahead than the normal customers? So that drives more better experience and more retention to your best customers. Another examples can be preferential treatment during offline booking. Like when I'm coming for a movie booking, if they can have an option to feed the mobile number of the customer, and I type in my mobile number, they know that this is the customer that should go to lane number 1 because you are the premium customer. So that gives an ease of buying process. At the same time, it will also add a lot of great factor. I'm feeling great factor when I'm purchasing the movie ticket. At the same time, if pre-selecting the preferred seats, like when I'm trying to book a airline ticket, generally I tend to buy an aisle seat. So how can a pre-selected aisle seat be there if I am the best customer? So these are few of the ideas that can help to achieve the ease in process, be it during the sales, post-sales, or even during the support process. Another example can be accessibility. Give premium accessibility to your best customers. Make them feel valued compared to any other customers, because these are the ones who are giving you higher revenue than anyone else. And the accessibility can be a special initiative from the brand. Let's take an example over here. We invite you to our 12th retail store inauguration ceremony. Like I recently had a conversation with one of the fast food chain where we did it's a quick service restaurant, so we did introduce a concept telling that, hey, why don't you invite your number one pizza customer based on the lifetime value and say that this your 400th store or retail outlet is being inaugurated by the Vietnam's best pizza lover. So those kind of unique initiatives can be done, thereby customer feels special. And the more they feel special, the more advocacy, the more retention, and the more lifetime value of the customer. Another example can be first opportunity to buy a limited edition product, exclusive access to special events, and many other ideas that we can share it across over a period of time. The next strategy is adapting to the new technologies. Comparatively a very easier strategy because it quickly gives you the desired results and also easily adaptable. And today, when we look into the engagement, the innovative ways of engagement, if we power it with customer data, can be a very deadly combination. It just doesn't create a wow factor, but also deliver a far superior result. That is where, marrying the technology with customer data. The customer data level technology is different. The engagement technology is what I'm referring to, marrying the customer engagement technology. Let's take a few examples of the technologies that is present and being not widely used, but the adoption are slowly increasing. One of the example is a contextual walkthrough. It's a very unique way of customer onboarding because customer deserves the best. How can I get adopted to the app features and navigation areas, thereby increasing the daily active users, the usage adoption, and also reducing the uninstall of app. So those kind of strategies can be adopted using contextual walkthrough. Mind it, contextual walkthrough can also be designed basis historical data. Let's take an example that I am a telecom operator, right? So if a customer is launching the app on the 28th of the month, and we know that the customer has to top up or pay their due bill, the contextual walkthrough can play a very important role there, showcasing, hey, you need to top up before your service is deactivated. So those kind of walkthroughs can also be adopted. Same goes with banks, but showcasing, hey, you can easily open your fixed deposit or recurring deposit at within 3 steps, showcasing the navigation path. So those kind of strategies can be also adopted in contextual walkthrough. Not necessarily it has to be a new customer. Another example can be a Gmail accelerated mobile pages. A very highly interactive email is something that everybody have been desiring since ages, and Gmail has made it available. And it is not a new technology, 2020 technology. It has been a technology since last 1.5 to 2 years, but the adoption rate is very slow. And I strongly believe that this can be one of the more unique way of engaging with your customers, because we have seen CTR performance improving by 100% at some cases. You can implement email surveys, carousel of your products, carousel of all the products that you want to showcase. You can add the product to the cart without even going to the add to cart page in the website or app. Hamburger menus, which is like click on it and go and showcase the other sections of the particular main menu. So those kind of ideas and innovations can be implemented in the accelerated mobile pages. Very innovative technology, but not widely used by various brands. Another example can be a carousel notification. While many of us have seen carousel notifications, but the adoption has been again on a lower side. Imagine a scenario where we are able to showcase 5 different products in a single notification. You want to recommend the customer with products, you want to cross-sell the products, you want to showcase the services that you are offering. Anything can be achieved in carousel notification, because you don't have to just send one image. 5 different unique images and 5 different call to action is available in carousel notification, thereby improving the CTR performance by 15 to 18%. Another example is Gmail annotation. Generally in promotions tab, it's literally boring. You know, it's text, maximum emoticon is present. It has become boring because almost 80 to 100 emails with subject lines and 3 headers and sender names have started coming in. The chance of customer looking into the emails are coming less until unless you strategically position at the right time, as been said earlier, or you create an innovation in your headlines. Imagine a scenario the annotation can take care of itself very quickly. You have a preview of your content, you have an offer present, you are putting the logo of your content, of your brand, everything comes under a single email, and if you don't have to even open the email, you are understanding what is the content, thereby your open rates increases drastically. You can showcase the expiry dates also, like for example, win 500 day 500 rupees and expiring in 3 days, or expiring in say 1st of August. It's very easy to implement, but we have seen very low implementation in Southeast of Asia and in Vietnam also. Another example can be gamification. Today we have seen gamification trends increase drastically with millions of app users present and high availability of alternative apps. Not necessarily we are the exclusive app. There may be 5 other apps who are in the same space. Considering that scenario, gamification is a very important role to increase the stickiness, reduce the app uninstall, and also increase the daily active users, monthly active users of the respective app. And it's a very powerful feature to acquire, engage, or retain a customer. Let's take an example over here. The customer launches the app and you can gamify telling that, hey, the offer is available till only a specific amount of time. So those kind of gamifications can be done. Like another example can be a milestone tracker. Like, hey, customer, you have achieved 100. You have read 100 books so far. One milestone for customer who have been a avid book reader and buying books or downloading books, ebooks. Reward earning, you can show, hey customer, you have earned 50 miles so far. Fitness goals, customer, you have unlocked 100 kilometer in the last, you have achieved 100 kilometers in the last 3 days. So those kind of different ideas can be used in gamification and help the customer to achieve the next target also. Like for example, if I have read 100 books, how can I read, how can I share more reviews and ratings of that. Another example is a smart push. With app push delivery being the top priority, technology has been implemented that can uplift the delivery rates by 45%. Using push amplification, which helps you to retarget your customers whose delivery has not taken place. Xiaomi API, where we are pushing and increasing the delivery by 7% in Xiaomi devices. Delivery booster, boosting the delivery by silently putting the content in the app itself and delivering at the time that the campaign is scheduled, and also machine learning optimized delivery. So using that, you can increase the delivery by 45%. And this all is unified into one single module. These four technologies unifies and then delivers a higher place. We recently clocked a 2x improvement in terms of delivery rate for the customer which is having 3 million plus app installed, with almost 60% of them being a monthly active user. Min, any thoughts on the technology side? How do you see innovative engagement playing a role in today's customer engagement process?
Yeah, thanks, Vijay. I think technology is beautiful, right, and powerful. My advice for the customer is that we need to have, the first thing is that to have the proper planning, right? Because
Right.
Technology, it takes time to adopt, to for the team to adopt and then to implement. So that the first thing we need to have the proper planning based on the use case. The second is that we have, especially the local client, they need to balance between the cost and benefit, right? So we don't expect that people are going to take everything at full stack, right? For example, push suddenly become the critical channel, and at the beginning, the people think that mobile push, ad push is a simple technology because that is available free and everybody can do that. But they only can see the issue when they make it at a big scale, right? So what we have experienced together in the last 2 years is that, okay, at the small scale, everything runs smoothly, people happy, right? But when, I mean, just the volume scale up, a lot of
Right.
things now they found that, I mean, the push notification, I mean, the reach level is quite low, right? So
Right.
only the one experience that thing, they only see the value of technology, the beauty of technology.
Understood. Makes sense, man. I mean, it's a valuable thought. I believe a lot of our attendees would definitely take this important point that you had shared it across. And moving ahead, Min, we will go with the next. This engage basis the behavior of customers in the first 6 months of 2020. We are running a little behind the schedule, but let me fasten the process. So in the first, this is the fourth strategy. Important to engage with our customer after analyzing pre and during COVID behavioral data, because it will add tremendous value when you are engaging with the customers. And we will get into the examples in the following slides. For example, converting a one-time buyer of last 6 months to repeat buyer. Last 6 month buyers, new customers are sweet customers. That means even with so much of challenges, barring the insurance vertical, I have been, one of the best customers that you can acquire because they come and they bought, for the first time. How can we ensure that we analyze their first purchase activity, at the same time their activity on the website and app, and then engage with a relevant communication. This will help to convert the one-time buyer of the last 6 months to repeat buyers, because these are the customers. One-time buyers are your long-tail customers, which Min had mentioned, the long-tail customers, not the best customers, the other customers that follows after the best. So these are the long-tail customers, part of which will require extreme intelligence to understand what they are doing, and then engaging strategically is more important. With a combination of app activity, web activity, one-time purchase category, we have seen a retail e-commerce improve the revenue by 7%. Another example can be customer with high search but zero purchases. Let's take an example over here. Customer has been having a marketing profile, and in the last 6 months, the customer has been searching a lot on the SEO. How can we engage with that, but has never bought an SEO course? So how can we engage with those customers, telling that, hey, your choice is right, opt for SEO, and you can benefit out of it. So those kind of strategies can be also adapted, thereby increasing the overall conversions that you want, or achieving the goals of your desire. One of the example is one of the leading job portal achieved a 2% increase in job application based on search-based engagement. What we did is we identified what are they searching and have they been searching the same 6 months back. And based on that, we started engaging with the customer and started recommending the relevant jobs based on the job category and experience that they were catering to. And suddenly it spiked up the job application among that audience by 2%. Another example can be a customer with a purchase history but no purchase history in the last 6 months. Reactivating the customers is very important, specifically for those who have gone inactive during COVID era. And it is important that we announce that the business is back to normal. We add an emotional connect to those customers, and thereby we increasing the overall conversions or win back those customers and make them active. One of the examples is something like this. And a success has been a tour operator, which just recently, a month back, it opened for domestic bookings, was able to increase the pre-bookings of December by 3% by re-engaging with the 2019 travelers. So this is something that we have seen. And let's take an example over here, like there can be multiple examples, whether it be in insurance or whether it be someone who has started paying the premium, or maybe some other category of customers in other verticals. So this is something that we have to look into, that is inactive customers of COVID. How can we convert them to an active customer? Min, I have a question here. How do you, according to you, how has COVID changed the way a customer makes a purchase decision?
I think definitely the behavior for the user have changed before and after the COVID, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. But important for me, I would like to add on is that how the local business can leverage from that data they can capture in the system.
Right. Right.
In the past, business have to look back for the information, and with the old technology, it takes time to come up just with insight, right? But now, I mean, with the market platform in place, they can easily pull out the data before and after immediately from the system, and they can quickly test that insight through A/B testing in the platform for a day or two, and then they can immediately adjust and then finalize the campaign to go big. So I think the critical point, the main point to highlight here is that how, I mean, if we have the proper planning and technology platform in place, then we can quickly on our activity based on the change of the behavior. So for me, the learning here is that data is dynamic and it changes, right? It doesn't mean what you have it for permanent, right?
Right. Perfect. Moving ahead, we'll be very quick here, leveraging the power of AI. Zero manual, let the AI do the job. Today, AI can do multiple tasks, and it is essential to reduce the effort and fallback to the machine to deliver what we want. Be it engagement or analysis or any other. AI plays a very important role, and there are multiple examples or multiple areas where AI plays a very important role. One of the examples that you see in the screen is send time optimization. Send the communications, whether it's an email, app push, web push, SMS, whatever the communication at the time at which the customer is most likely to engage. This is the exact thought that Min had, shared across earlier. That is, how can we engage with the customer at the time the customer is most likely to open or click on the content. We have seen a fashion retailer improving the engagement rate by 39% using send time optimization. Another example can be a churn prediction. Know at the time at which the customer is likely to stop engaging with us. You can choose the desired time range like 7, 14 or 28 days, and then you can stop engaging, you can stop your customer from being a churn customer or an inactive customer. Engaging with them is very important so that we can arrest those churn. We also see how can preferred channel play a very important role. Like AI plays a very strategic advantage. AI is having a very strategic advantage in the preferred channel. Like considering the preferred channel is app push, send only app push notification. But if the preferred channel is email, send an email communication. It helps you to not only cap the communication but also reduce the overall spamming concern. Like you may not end up sending hundreds of communication to the customer over a period of time. You may just send out limited communication, but at the right channel. A broking company was able to activate 50% of the base by engaging with them using the preferred channel and combining it with send time optimization. Another example can be a personalization of the website, mobile app, and channel that we would have showcased earlier. We can capture in the website, app, and all. We can capture a lot of data points, whether it is customer viewing the content, adding to cart, looking to the weather, latitude, longitude. Lot many informations can be captured. Almost as many as 15, 20 data points can be captured, thereby showcasing the relevant product that the customer is most likely to buy. So that is something that we can achieve using AI and ML. And we have seen marketplace achieving an 18% revenue contribution from this level of AI-powered personalization in the website and app. Summarizing, these are the 5 customer engagement strategies for the rest of 2020. Any final thoughts, Min, before we quickly get into the 1 or 2 questions?
No, I think we can go straight into the Q&A so that we can wrap up in time. Yep.
Super. Let me, let me access it quickly. There is one question which finds it to be very interesting. Is there any way to recognize our best customer, that is predicting the lifetime value of the customer at the time of acquisition? So this is a question. The answer would be yes, not to a large extent, but definitely we would be able to predict to a certain extent. Let's take an example that using a persona of the customer, what time, what pages or what screens did the customer view, what activities did the customer take, and what are the products that the customer has bought. If we are able to combine multiple data points of a customer and create a persona of a similar customer that is already part of your customer base, you can use and predict your the lifetime value of this particular customer. It is achievable, but yes, it cannot be done manually. It requires a machine learning. Min, you want to add any thoughts?
I think yes, the basic foundation for to recognize this is again based on their behavior as well. How often? I mean, what is the how often they engage with us? What is kind of the same value they deliver to, and what is the margin, right? So
Absolutely.
and what is of the acquisition. So that's still the basic foundation for the customer lifetime value, right? And
Correct.
with the data, with customer data in hand, we can easily make it become the segment and then can directly target them on the platform. So this is difficult to do it in the past, but now, right? If every customer engage with us on our digital asset, we
Right.
can easily capture them and communicate with them directly.
Perfect. I mean, summarizing, I mean, it's well structured. Like if you summarize, first analyze the all the data points captured from that customer. Second, derive and identify similar audience who are basis on the lifetime value of your existing audience, and then it can be used to predict the overall lifetime value and understand the best customers if they are going to be. So that is achievable. We have overshot the time by 1 minute. I will follow up with the questions in the mail, and I would thank you so much for all who have been. We have seen multiple questions being asked. You have all have been a wonderful audience, and I hope you all have a great. The rest 6 months of 2020. You can connect with us in the LinkedIn. The QR code is available, and have a good day today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ben, for joining.